Hey everyone, it's Richard Payne here from Halifax Homes and Lifestyles at eXp Realty, and we are coming at you today at the very start of January 2021 because we've got some tips and information for you if you're out there in Halifax looking at buying a house. Hey everyone, it's Richard Payne here, and we're talking about buyers today, and specifically how the buying market in 2021 is going to be. Unfortunately, sorry to burst that bubble, but it's going to be the same as 2020. We're still seeing multiple offers, we're still seeing over asking price, but this is a little bit of a few tips for you because we want to set that expectation right at the very start of the process so that you can understand how 2021 and 2020 are going to be very similar markets, but also how you as buyers kind of need to frame yourselves before you start down this process. So the first thing we want to talk about, tip number one, is expectations on price. We've been working with a couple of clients, and unfortunately those clients are being just a little bit unrealistic. They have a hard budget in mind that, talking to the finance person, the mortgage person, they can't go over that number. Yet, for some reason, they want us to start searching for houses that are like $20,000, $30,000 over asking price, with some kind of an understanding that they're going to be able to offer on that property and get it for $20,000, $30,000 less than the asking price. So that's the first thing, is that's not going to work. Not in this market. We are not seeing houses that are selling for that much money underneath their listing price right now. We didn't in 2020, some exceptions, but pretty rare exceptions, but we're not seeing that in 2021. So same market, nothing really has changed, still low inventory. Set the expectation. So when you start searching for properties now, the recommendation is if your hard budget is $250, that's the top of where we're actually searching for the house. We're not going to be searching like we did back in 2019, where we're like, do you know what? Let's kind of eke it to 270, 275, and then we'll be able to negotiate down. Just doesn't happen. So that's the first thing, is set the expectation, be realistic. Second thing is, let's talk about some conditions. Another example for you, we were just in a multiple offer situation, 15 offers I think there were in total. We went in what we thought was very aggressive. Turns out it wasn't aggressive enough because we didn't win, but here's the interesting part. The offer that was accepted was $51,000 over the asking price, and it also went sold the second day after the property went, after all offers were meant to be received. So all offers were meant to be received on Sunday. This property went sold, that means unconditional, on Tuesday. There's only one way that could have happened, which is no conditions, no financing, no inspection, no lawyer, no insurance. Now, that's not something I would ever recommend. There's been a couple of realtors here in Halifax that have said, if you want to get your offer accepted, no conditions. That's not a really good idea. It's just way, way too risky. Like, if we're not having an inspection on a house and we're not having the lawyer look at the agreement and we're not working out if we can get insurance, in my mind and in my opinion, that's not protecting your best interests as a buyer, because anything can show up and anything can go wrong. So you have to stick with your conditions, but you have to be quick with those conditions, like absolutely. So we were on 4 days. So it's a bit of a shame for my clients that we didn't get it, but that's one of those situations. We didn't go up to the $51,000 over asking price, and we certainly weren't prepared to remove the conditions. So that's your second tip number two. The third tip, and the final one, well, that's all about getting out there and really starting to hunt for the properties that are available. If we don't want to be into competition, if we don't want to be removing all the conditions, then there's really only one other option to do, which is we've got to get creative. So that's what we're starting to do now, is certainly look at a lot of our other options for properties that are going to be out there, find similar properties, and do what we've got to do to actually get in touch with the sellers and see if they've got any interest. So that's how we're doing it. Those are your top 3 tips for 2021 for buyers. Now, if you have any questions, all the contact details you can find here, because we just want to make sure that you're looked after. Like, this is not the wild, wild west where we're removing all conditions and just like basically buying a house, you know, almost like, do you know what? Here's a big bag of cash and give me the keys. Like, that is not protection, and that is not really looking after your best interests. But some people are doing that. just a question of whether that's sensible or not. In my opinion, definitely not. But if you would like to subscribe to the channel, please do. Hit me up with any questions, any messages. You know all the details to get in touch with me. They're down in the comments below, and we would love to talk to you about what you're doing and how we can help.